Alright guys, do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and do not forget to thumbs the video up if you happen to enjoy this video. So, I asked the question, why is Deontay Wilder the A side to Anthony Joshua, right? And you know what they said? They said, well, Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz. He fought the boogeyman. Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz. And Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury, who was the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. The guy who beat the man, who was the man, Vladimir Klitschko, right? Alright, but here's the thing. He didn't beat Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder got a draw, a gift draw against Tyson Fury. He didn't beat him. He retained his belt because he got a draw. And in boxing, when you get a draw and you're a champion against a fighter, you get to keep that belt, right? So that's what happened. The only reason he kept that belt was because he got a draw. But 99.9% of boxing fans, including some Deontay Wilder fans, have said that they believe Tyson Fury actually beat Deontay Wilder. So again, what's the, you know, here they are saying that he's the A side because he beat the man, who was the former, who beat Vladimir Klitschko, but I mean, he fought him. But the thing is, he didn't beat him. He didn't beat the man who was the man. He got a draw against him. And realistically, he lost to him. And then let's talk about Luis Ortiz. Because, you know, when it comes to Luis Ortiz, people like have Luis Ortiz, especially Deontay Wilder fans, they have Luis Ortiz on a pedestal, right? They act like Luis Ortiz was this unified, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. You know, Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz. That was a good fight for him, a good victory for him. But let's be honest with you guys, who had Luis Ortiz fought besides guys like, I don't know, Brian Jennings? The best guy in his resume was Brian Jennings. Dave Allen. He couldn't knock out Malik Scott. Malik Scott went the distance with this guy. Malik Scott got knocked out against Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora. Yeah, Luis Ortiz, this so-called boogeyman, couldn't knock him out. Again, what had Luis Ortiz done in his career? Was he a champion? No. He was a contender. He was a contender who was up there in age at that. Alright? Let's not compare Ortiz and Vladimir Klitschko like people love to compare because they were about the same age. Vladimir was a former unified champion who was a legend. Luis Ortiz wasn't. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't even win. He didn't even win medal in the Olympics. I mean, at least that's what some of my subscribers tell me. So, how does Deontay Wilder getting a draw with Tyson Fury and beating Luis Ortiz make him the A side? I don't get it. I completely don't get it. I don't understand that. The reality is it doesn't, because even if he would have beaten Tyson Fury, he still wouldn't be the A side to Anthony Joshua, because when it comes to talking about the A side this, A side that, it's really all about how much money this fighter draws, how valuable this fighter is. You know, how many pay-per-view buys he sells. You know, that's the reality. Deontay Wilder is not the A side to Anthony Joshua, because not just because he doesn't have the belts, but because he's not a pay-per-view star. Okay? He doesn't have this, he doesn't draw this massive crowd, okay? He just doesn't, all right? He is a champion, and that's all he really brings to the negotiation tables, is the fact that he's a champion. He brings a belt, and of course that gives him a little bit more money than he would have received if he was just, you know, a regular contender against Anthony Joshua. But that's really the only thing that he has to offer, is the fact that he's a champion and he's unbeaten. But when it comes to like selling, you know, arena stadiums out, you know, having 1.5 million pay-per-view buys per fight, Anthony Joshua wins that all day, okay? Because he is the guy who has the bigger fan base, basically. So, like, I understand people, because people just love saying this. They love saying, oh my God, he beat Luis Ortiz. Oh my God, he beat Tyson Fury, who was the lineal champion. Therefore, he deserves to be the A side against Joshua. No, because you need to be putting in more work. You know, these guys act like, Deontay Wilder fanboys act like, since he beat Luis Ortiz, who was a quote-unquote boogeyman, and since he beat or got a draw against the the guy who beat the man who was the man in Tyson Fury. He is now this, like, the best heavyweight on the planet, and he is now the A side. The thing is, homie, I didn't forget about his other 37 fights. Like, people just look at the Ortiz fight, the Tyson Fury fights, his 2 best fights in his entire career, and they're like, you know what, let's just forget about the rest of his fights. You got to put in the work, homie. You got to put in the work for legacy purposes. Deontay Wilder still has to fight. It's not like he just beats Ortiz and beats Tyson Fury and now he's the A side and he's the man and he put in all the work. At the end of the day, Anthony Joshua put in more work than Deontay Wilder because he has half the fights Deontay Wilder has. And he managed to become unified champion, and that's something that Deontay Wilder never managed to do. So, like I said, Deontay Wilder has to beat Anthony Joshua, beat Tyson Fury, actually beat him, then defend his belts against the legit heavyweights like Dillian White and all the other guys. For me to start saying, you know, giving him massive props. It's not just a thing where you beat a over-the-hill Luis Ortiz and you get a gift draw against Tyson Fury, and all of a sudden you're the A side and you got, you know, everything's in your corner, the ball's in your corner. No, you want to be the A side, you got to be AJ. You got to be AJ. Go over there in the UK, fight him on pay-per-view. That's it. And then, you know, you want me to start giving you a lot of respect as a fighter when it comes to your resume, when it comes to legacy-wise. You got to just keep defending your belts, your undisputed titles against all the best. You can't just fight an over-the-hill Luis Ortiz and get a draw against Tyson Fury, and I'm just going to forget about your whole fucking resume. I'm going to forget about the fact that you fought defending your belts against Eric Molina, Arthur Spilka, Joe Nduapaz. I'm going to forget about the fact that you fought 30 Walmart employees before you actually stepped your game up against a bum-ass Bermane Stiverne. I'm not going to just turn a blind eye to that and just forget about it, act like it never happened. And a lot of these Deontay Wilder fans want to do that. I'm not going to do that. Again, you got to put in the work for me to respect you. When it comes to me, I respect fighters who have resumes, who have good resumes. If you look at my history, I always give credit to fighters who have good resumes, and that's why I always be trashing Deontay Wilder, man, because he has a really bad, poor, suspect resume. So, again, it's not about just beating these 2 guys and all of a sudden you got my respect and I think you're the best heavyweight on the planet. You got to put in more work. Because Anthony Joshua got half the fights as you, and he put more work than you. And that's some fucked up shit. So you got to put in more work than him. You got to become undisputed and keep fighting, keep defending your belts, put in more work. And like I said, you can't talk about being the A side. Deontay Wilder fans can't talk about him being the A side because he's not a pay-per-view draw. He's just not, man. These are just facts. He's not. 300K pay-per-view buys ain't shit compared to what Anthony Joshua can generate. It's just is not. You can't compare that shit. You can't compare 300,000 pay-per-view buys to fucking 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. It just doesn't work like that. You know, Wilder has to knock this dude out. That's it. Just knock him out. Beat him. That's all I have to say, guys. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, man. And thumbs up video up if you enjoyed it.